here's a movie I already mentioned at least twice on my show. Christmas Evil, originally titled You Better Watch Out, released in 1980. The movie's director, Lewis Jackson, always intended it to be called You Better Watch Out, but the production company changed it last minute to Christmas Evil. And so that's the title we know this movie by today. Even though the title screen still says You Better Watch Out. It's about a man named Harry who works in a toy factory. He is obsessed with Christmas and even sees himself as the real Santa Claus, completely with spying on kids to see if they're naughty or nice. Harry starts out as a harmless guy, yet a little crazy, but he's more pitiable than dangerous. But as Christmas comes closer, his obsession starts to get creepier and creepier. He starts losing his mind and eventually goes on a killing spree. This may sound like just your average slasher plot, but it's not actually. Yeah, there's a killing spree, and yeah, there are various kills, but the focus is much more about a man's growing obsession who loses his mind. It's often debated if this is a horror movie at all. More than half of the movie feels like a drama. But then again, a drama probably wouldn't have a psycho in a Santa Claus costume poke someone's eyes out with the bayonet of a toy soldier. The pacing is very slow, so if you're going to watch this movie expecting it's going to be a non-stop gore fest, you may be disappointed. But if you take your time and give it a chance, it's a pretty well made movie. It clearly shows how Harry is slowly getting mad. His loved ones try to help him, but Harry doesn't want help. In his eyes, he doesn't need it and he's just doing what he has to do. It's the perfect setup for the massacre he creates later on. In that way, it kinda reminds me of Silent Night Deadly Night, but that movie takes the full slasher road. Also, this movie came out 4 years earlier, so maybe Silent Night Deadly Night got inspired by this one. So if you're in the mood for an original Killer Santa flick and you have no problem with the slow pacing, give it a chance. You might be surprised. It's not a perfect movie and it can be a little boring or silly sometimes, but it's still worth a watch at least once. After all, cult legend John Waters called it the greatest Christmas movie ever made. But coming from the director of Pink Flamingos, that's not saying much. Just go see it for yourself.